A love letter. Please, listen to the end. Friday evenings. I honestly wish I knew what chums usually comes with it. But who am I kidding? There are no chums to talk about. Tell me, how did they even name it Good Friday in the first place? I guess with the redemption that came from sharing of love through bread and wine and the ultimate sacrifice that followed, it all had to be a Good Friday, and a very good one at that. Now seated on my grey carpeted floor, as I listen into the darkness outside, it is more than calming to my screaming nerves. A hot shower would have actually helped ease out all the tautness from the day done, but writing this letter to you seems to be doing quite a number to my heart, in turn easing my whole being. Now, getting back to this Friday evening being a good one, and that not to mention that it is the Friday 2 days to Valentine's Day that falls on a Sunday, it all seems like quite a coincidence. Coincidence? Now, who would I be kidding to say that I believe in such things? Yet, before I say no more and start my trail of philosophy that most oft sets you to slumber, allow me to say, blessed days and pleasant nights. Blessed days sounds handy to fill in the long quiet that has been between us, and as much as I would like to blame myself for the depth of quiet in delay to responding to your letter, still would I skip that, as I admit that the silence has built quite a longing for your presence. Maybe those ancient words, once wisdomed, sure grow louder in sense now that absence sure makes the heart grow fonder. Yet again, pleasant nights do I wish you, for as my evening cramps my nerves with fatigue, your beautiful night's rest might in return through space and time with the bond of love between us flow to me and fill me up with calmness. I could have, at this point, used so many words in coining to relieve myself of the fact that as lovers around the world sink into each other's arms, here I am, miles off from you, separated with the bite of the eastern wind that has flown over the dry deserts and lonely oases to deliver your warmth to me. Only that, in this trip, has its warmth got tripped off across the jealous ocean waves. Jealous, they totally are, even as I press my cold feet deeper into the throw pillows for much needed warmth. A warmth you always gave with much ease, with a brush of your heavy sock-covered feet against mine. With this act, even as the darkness outside grows deeper in silence, the motor sounds of the fridge take over to remind me that I still have frozen food that needs to be defrosted if I am to eat anything tonight. We can call that welcome sound, as it numbs out the drunken man's constant trembles from across the neighboring balcony. You still remember him, right? He had gone quiet for the past few months. I almost got worried for his health, but now that I can hear him once in a while, I glorify the Almighty God for keeping him. I pray that his next silence would be that he has stopped his alcoholic sprees and has found his way to redemption. I may not delve much deeper about my frozen food, keeping in mind your love for fresh cooked food. You know, however, that with the little portions you cooked, you had to be in the kitchen every other day, right? I may not even hold that against you, as I have over time grown to learn that cooking is actually quite therapeutic, a cure to the nerves and a stormy mind for that matter. Speaking of which, I hope you get to watch the next episode I post up on YouTube of how to have peace within the storm this coming week, as I point to cooking as a therapy. Who knows, you may actually get to see some of the foods I cook, as I am not sending you any photos. With food aside, though a healer to the spirit and comfort to an ailing heart, I do not want to admit that I miss you, yet that denial in itself makes me weak within. I guess that however much I love the presence of the heavy gray clouds currently overhead, the absence of the beautiful lunar in my sky numbs my heart to most current occurrences. Like the fact that it is almost Valentine's, you are there and I am here. And despite the fact that with you, every day has been a Valentine's, with constant calls, stupid texts, and unwarranted fights just to confirm that you still love me and I love you. Truth is, I miss you. And even as flowers flood both the streets and sidewalks, despite the fact that I am no lover of the same, looking at them fills me up with all kinds of nostalgia and an innate, mundane desire to hold you in my arms tonight and forever. I know, and of this I am totally sure, that we are not all caught up alone in this predicament. Now, instead of focusing on our lonely Valentines away from each other, I would instead wish to dedicate this letter to you, to all those persons out there who in a season such as this find themselves alone. Now, to all those who feel unwanted, to all those who feel rejected, to all those who feel unworthy, and to all those who feel unnoticed, to all those who feel down, crushed, persecuted and abandoned, I love you all. And there is a love that goes beyond roses, petals, or even chocolates. The love of the Almighty God, your Creator, who loves you beyond reason or even season. Now to you all, and to my sweet and tender beloved beauty, I love you. I love you always. So, as I allow the mailman to deliver this to your heart, please stay blessed and stay safe. It's your true and sincere love, Paper, the Sketches of Life.